Hello and welcome back to Business Today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Viewers, today we have something which is a very important part of us. I mean, around us is everything that's created. You know, there's someone behind it. And today we have someone very special on the show. A gentleman who's created some fabulous stuff. Actually, I was amazed by looking at them. So I had the opportunity to firsthand hear about these equipment. So bear with us. I mean, I will tell you and we will show you what we have here in the studio. We're going to show you it actually working. So bear with us with that. But without further ado, I'll introduce my guest, Mr. Khalil Hussain, who's in the studio with me today. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome onto the studio.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay. Mr. Khalil, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit? Would you tell us where you're from and what you do?
My name is Khalil Hussain. I was born in Bangladesh. Raised in Liverpool. We did struggle in early of our life, which I was the oldest son in the family, so most of the responsibility was on my hand. Therefore, education was the way.
Okay.
So even though I'm university dropout, because of some of the dispute, the universities and with me was some of the disputes regarding my technology. I decided to create it outside of university because some of the things that you design or create in university is never yours. It belongs to the university.
Okay.
So you cannot bring it outside. Yeah, so I had to go to university for my brothers and sisters, siblings to follow me. And alhamdulillah, most of them went to university, did degrees, and I studied architecture.
Okay. Architecture
as my background.
Something completely different.
Totally different, but which architecture led me to come up with these different ideas. One of my project was to design a green hotel.
Green hotel.
Green hotel,
Okay.
which means it's supposed to use renewable energy, green energy, and that's where my research led into finding the products that I come up with.
Okay.
Well, technically, it wasn't just my idea. The ideas are out there. All we did is put them component together to produce something which is green. When it comes to the gas, when it burns, it becomes water again. When it comes to the electricity, it produces its takes internally a little bit, but it will produce huge amount of electricity, which it can help third world country, poor countries. These led to for me to do these for environment,
Okay.
for refugees, people who's in war camps, hospitals in wars,
in third world countries. Yeah.
third world country hospitals, kids who's suffering without any electricity, they can't do their educations at night time. So it led me to come up with an idea that not just for myself. If you think about yourself, you don't go far.
You're limited to the boundary. Yeah.
To the boundary. There's a psychology. There's something when we make dua for everybody first.
Yeah.
And then we say our dua at the end.
That's right.
There's a reason behind it. That same aspect applies in everything. When you will achieve something, what you're going to do with the achievement? How are you going to help your society? So first of all, if you think that you're going to help the society regarding what you're doing, and you will get the answers from up there. He will lead you to meet people that you'd never thought you would meet. And he will show you things that you'd never think
I
you
love
would.
what I'm hearing because I agree.
Because you are doing something is sadaqatul jariyah. You are doing something for the society. You're doing something. Imagine somebody's in hospital in Bangladesh. Just imagine. A lady's getting operated. She's giving birth. At that time, power cuts, which happens in Bangladesh.
Yes.
Which happens. Then you have to wait for the generator to kick in, which is 2 minutes. That's life and death. That's life and death.
Definitely, surely it is.
So therefore, when we have something such as something that on board 24 hours gives you support. Yes, we have the government supply. Yes, we have to take something from the government supply to produce even more. It's a huge change, not just for the society, not just for Bangladesh. I'm talking about Africa, everywhere, all over the world. So main objective of our life is you have to concentrate on what you're going to do for the world, because the world don't care about you. You and me, just name and numbers. He was born at that date, he died on that date, his name was this. But people remembers like Gandhi, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They remember them people because they have done something for the world.
Yeah. They've left a legacy behind.
They did something for the world. The world remembers them automatically. It will come up on the history over and over and over. So as a human, we have placed on this earth for, there's a reason to do something for the next generation.
Very true.
To create something, to leave something where the other generation can
continue from there and evolve and develop from there.
Of course. So, yeah.
No, that's very powerful, that message you just said, and I guess everything you do is around that, you know, what you're leaving behind. I know the inventions you've created, I mean, I was going to go into that in a bit. You mentioned electricity. It's not surely a battery pack or anything like that that's reserving electric. Could you tell us a little bit more about your electricity?
Its equation is called, this is one of our equation, is called E equals 3x, means, which is you apply one energy, the energy goes through a motherboard that what we created, it goes through that motherboard and goes through our components, and it turns it into 3. So then you have 1, you use it back, put it back into the system, and 2, you can use it or you can reserve it either on a power bank or directly use it. You can do that. Now, in order to, for the first energy has to come from somewhere, which is either national grid or either which is government, and then this one creates
additional.
The additional, where whenever you need it is there for you. But you need to create the, you need to have the first initial one for it to work.
Okay. Now, I mean, for this little computer-sized box, you know, what is it actually producing in terms of wattage, ampage?
Wattage, this particular model will produce up to 18,000 watt.
18,000 watts.
18,000 watt. So if anybody who's on the background of electricity, they would know how to calculate the watts. So now it produces also up to 1,500
amps per hour, is it?
Per hour, which that's an hour. We have 24 hours a day. And a British household needs maximum 50 amp. Maximum.
They're really
using it. That means they've got 5 refrigerators, they've got all, if they got fans, they've got electric heaters, they've got toasters. If they put everything in, it needs 50 amp. Minimum, you need 30, you know, 30 amp is the maximum people use. But if somebody uses overloads, which is 50 amp per day, that is the whole day, you need for the whole day 50 amp.
Okay.
So this model will produce up to 1,500 amp. Now if you do the calculation per hour, that's per hour. 1,500 amp per hour times by 24.
That's a huge amount.
That's a huge amount. So you could have your one block of state that could be run through this.
It's amazing. And it won't cut off? Or
No, it won't cut off. It won't cut off. We are also looking into, we already have looked into the designing of a battery system where it will store. If you don't use it, it will store for you. It will give you the energy when you need it, because it will supply from the storage. When the storage is full up, it will cut off by itself. Now, and then it will go back on, take some energy from there, and it will kick off again when it realizes the storage is low.
So it will automatically kick off.
It will automatically
reproduce
it and restore it.
Amazing. Now, we're looking at hundreds of 4-bedroom houses that can produce this particular.
We have the other model which produces up to that's the biggest we have designed, and which produces up to 66 kilowatt per hour, which means 66,000 per watt per hour, which means 6,000 amp per day. I mean per hour, and that, if you calculate that, these amps up to 144,000 amp per day. So 144,000 amp per day, and you could light up to 25 streets, British streets.
Of about 200 houses each street?
Yeah, over 200 houses on one street.
Wow.
Yeah. So
amazing. Now, coming back to this particular model, in terms of cost, could we discuss anything?
The cost is maintenance cost, nothing.
No maintenance.
Maintenance cost is nothing. Maintenance, if a parts goes, there's always, we can give you the parts. That's not a problem. And at this moment of time, we did not do market costs, but it will cost us to build. I can give you certain figure, around about £1,000 to make it up to CE standard. CE standard will cost you up to £1,000 or £1,200 maximum. That's that's our manufacturing cost, and we don't know how much we're going to sell it for. We haven't come to that stage yet. We are still in a prototype stage. And yeah.
No, that's amazing. Talking about the machine, I mean, we're going to want to see how it works.
Of course.
Does it light up? Or
yes, of course it does. It does.
Just the box could be.
Shall we turn around?
Yeah, please.
Oops. Okay, so basically, so at this moment of time, it's on. So as you can see, it's not very noisy, and
hardly any noise.
Yeah. So in fact, if you leave it in your storeroom where there's plenty of air.
Does it need ventilation?
Yeah, you have to have ventilation, because it doesn't need ventilation, but you have to have some sort of air coming in to cool the system down. It's with anything, we are human.
Does it produce heat itself, or?
It will produce heat because it's producing electricity. It produces heat, but it's not too much heat.
Okay. It's not something where you need an air-cooled room.
No. It just is. Room temperature is perfectly fine, but you need to have some sort of air circulation.
Okay.
So if we put this on,
I have felt it previously. It's quite heavy, actually. I'll try to move it.
it is very, 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 very heavy. Yeah.
Producing electricity.
And as you can see, it's and if you put series of lights, it will go on whole day.
Yeah.
As it is. And now, to show you, you might think it's on a wire or somewhere. No, only the wire is this wire lighting.
Yep. You want to Just take it down that way. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't have any sort of.
There's no wire connected to this, viewers, so I can just assure you that. I can see it from the studio. Nothing's connected to that box. That box is directly connected to the light only. So there's nothing coming into it, which is amazing. You know, at least I've seen that. I've seen earlier on before we got here.
Yeah.
You know, there was quite a few light bulbs on there.
Yep. So we can have series of fans, X, Y, and Z. When it goes to mains of the house, the main will just stick it into inside a bit behind it, and it will continuously produce itself. Yes, if we have battery banks, the battery bank can fill up, and then whenever the house needs it, they just use it from there.
Okay. So when that falls short a little bit, it goes off the battery bank and continues.
Yeah. So say for example, if you keep it like this, you will continuously give electricity. Now, if you have a battery bank, which is a better idea, where the machine will rest, battery bank is full, giving the electricity to the house, and when the battery bank is low, you will give back in automatically because it produces so much.
There's nothing, no interference from the consumer.
No.
Nothing whatsoever.
No, you don't have to. It's all on auto mode.
How big is the battery bank? You can take a seat.
It depends on the consumers. Depends on a house. A house itself. Just let me turn it off. That's it.
Oh, we can leave it here. It's quite heavy. That is.
It is very heavy. It is very heavy. So for consumers, you've about 3,000 watt. Couple of battery bank. You only need the battery bank just for, as I said, just to charge it. That's all you need, the battery bank to charge the unit. Charge the battery bank to supply, because the battery won't drain out.
Okay.
The battery, because every time battery is a bit low, it will regenerate and regenerate.
Is there a special battery for it, or
we are looking into a
okay, actually we're going to talk about the batteries just after the break. We're going into a break now.
Okay, that's fine.
Viewers, please stay tuned. We've got so much more to talk about, other inventions as well, so we'll see you at after the breaks.